Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dead Men Tell No Tales, a Ghosts of Saltmarsh story. I am Tessa, your dungeon master, and I will be your captain through this ship of crazy. With me are my wonderful players, as always, with the exception of Autumn, who is under the weather today, so we hope that she feels better soon. So, alas, we will not have Gwilyn with us on this particular trip, but we know that she is somewhere aboard the ship talking with all of her new babies. By which I mean all of the animal companions that she has successfully gotten aboard the ship, which are threatening to outnumber the crew currently, I believe. So let's let the animal companions alone for a bit and let's focus on the people who are here. So let's go ahead and introduce my crew very quickly, starting to my direct right, and that would be Heather.
Hi everyone, I'm Heather. I play Coral, the Lutradyne Bard. You can find me here every Friday on Dead Men Tell No Tales, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I'm also here on the Nerdsmith Twitch on Tuesdays for Shenanigans as Val the Half-Orc Cleric, and on the Geek Thyself podcast every Wednesday. And you can find me on Twitter at amethyst_magic with a CK.
Excellent. And moving on, we will continue over to Matthew and Crackers, who are a double trouble team.
Good evening. My name is Crackers. I play the role of Crackers, the Awakened Bard, on this particular program. With me as my assistant, who handles my menial tasks, such as rolling dice and whatnot. His name is Matthew. You can find him at Twitter at Matthew A. Siebert. And he is also the Dungeon Master for the Land Above podcast.
Which is very excellent. And if you guys have not gone and listened to The Land Above, you need to go do that because it is amazing. And let's go over to Jay, who is our artist for this series.
Hi, I'm Jay. I play Fortune, the Tiefling Monk. I also did the art for this series. You can find me on Twitter at JAYYTXC, and I post art over there sometimes and costuming things.
You should go check it out. And if you are currently in the market for art, I believe Jay's commissions are currently open.
Yes.
Then by all means, rush on over to find him on Twitter and get some good art. And last but certainly not least, Zach.
Hi, I'm Zach. I play Jaffer, the Rock Gnome Artificer. You can find me on Twitter at DuskFeyDruid. You can also find me on the Nerdsmith Discord, where I run one-shots.
Excellent. So the last couple of episodes that we have had here on Dead Men Tell No Tales have focused heavily on animals on the beach Bolg Island, as it was Nerdsgiving recently. Last time you have successfully partied with sorry, my voice is going, so you will have to forgive me if I am sounding a little froggy today. You successfully partied with Urzok Stormcrow, who had come to visit you and had gotten some information about what was going on back at home. You learned that the Monarch's taxes had been driving the folks of Saltmarsh to desperation, including the your friend Moxie had lost her Motley. She'd lost her tavern. I don't know why I said Moxie. I blame the cold medicine and a lot of Borderlands too. So that's been going on lately. So any MO name has been immediately Moxie in my head instead of Motley. So I apologize. Motley has had to close down her tavern due to the taxes on alcohol. And while all this was going on, a dragon's egg washed up on shore, and the party, through use of sending, discovered its mother and sent for her, and she came and got the egg. Much to everybody's nerves because, oh my goodness, giant dragon on shore. But you were successful, and Tuarma, the dragon mother, came and picked up her egg and left you guys alone. And you were all able to catch up with your ship, and after some very interesting conversations about stealing Fortune's pants to impress Gwilyn, Vareed and the rest of the crew managed to make it back on board, and you guys once again set sail. And that's where we've left off. Did I miss anything important in that?
I don't think so. We have a lot of new crewmates who are all animals.
Yes, you do. You have quite a few. You have a Wolpertinger, a baby kraken, a baby dragon turtlet, and I'm sure I'm forgetting others at this point. But you were loaded up with many, many provisions, including some of that dire bumblebee honey. Yes, Angela, I did steal your dire bumblebees because they were just too good not to have. So I apologize. Those were blatantly stolen from Angela because they were a great idea. So you have dire bumblebee honey and lots of provisions, and you are once again on your way. Now you have a choice. You can head back to Saltmarsh with what's going on, or you can continue trying to find Gellin. Or you can go somewhere else entirely. It's up to you. You can guys decide that you never want to sail again and just live forever on the Beach Bug Island. That is also very tempting for some of you.
I did think of one thing that we learned that was important last session, which was that someone we thought was a fairly good person, Scarin, is it Scarin Wave Chaser?
Yes.
Who's sort of the power behind the council member that got us all together to work on fixing some of the town's problems, is actually part of a group called, I should say Crackers learned this, not the rest of us yet.
That's true.
I'm assuming we're going to get told at some point, but currently it's just Crackers. So I don't know if we want to RP him informing us or what the plan is, but...
Well, you have lots of time on the open sea currently, so why don't we go ahead and set sail and see where the information lies, shall we? It has been 2 days since you have left the Beach Bug Island. I'm assuming you are heading towards Gellin still, and you have not turned tail for home. If that is not the case, please inform me now so I can give you different directions. All right. So
I think it's best for us to go to get Gellin. I know that some of you have family back in Saltmarsh, so I respect that.
My grand knows how to take care of herself. I'm not too worried about her, and there's not a lot that anyone would want to do to her anyway. But I do agree that we should try to get back as fast as we can.
What about you, Fortune?
Need to go after
You
Gellin.
want to get to Gellin?
Yes.
I bet.
He wants something to Gellin anyway.
Also, if you remember, he was writing letters saying not to put the taxes on the city. I don't think him going missing and then it immediately happening is a coincidence.
That's a fair point.
Rather astute.
Indeed. Oh, before I forget, Fortune, Urzok, who is currently on the ship with you guys, he's just doing his own thing currently tonight, left you some special herbs for your pipe. Should you choose to smoke it, I will tell you what happens. But you watched last episode, so I think you already know what happens.
Yeah.
But for the audience, we will keep it a mystery. Alrighty, so it has been 2 days since you've left the Beach Bug Island. It has been smooth sailing. You've got a great tailwind. You are back on course, and the sea has been calm. It is currently daytime, which I believe means Jaffer is captain, and we'll say Gwilyn is asleep since she is the nighttime captain.
With all her babies.
With all of her babies. And it's quiet. It's a lovely sea day. What is it you all like to be doing?
I mean, Jaffa will be running around. She tends to go hard on the captaining, even when things are quiet. She's making sure everything is solid and trying to look professional.
I feel like Coral's doing a lot of practicing. Probably different songs and melodies on her pipes, as well as with her rapier a little bit. She hasn't actually been doing that much up close fighting. She's been supporting more from the background, but just in case, she doesn't want to get rusty, so she's going to practice with that as well.
Excellent.
And writing down everything about meeting with Torma, because oh my god, I met Torma.
You did indeed. How does Fortune feel about missing out on meeting a brass dragon?
I mean, he thinks it probably would have been interesting, but also isn't like lining up to meet a gigantic dragon just in case.
That's fair.
But also, if any of us are gonna get set on fire, I could survive it.
There is that. Or at least take less damage than somebody else.
Yeah.
Tormo is very, very large. I'm not entirely sure if you would have survived it. But it may have had an easier time surviving it.
Yeah.
And Crackers, do you share your newfound information about the Brotherhood with the rest of the party?
Not as of yet. I imagine I've been spending my time recently, somewhat on keeping my own counsel. I'm perched on the masthead at the front of the ship, just watching the ocean waters.
All right. As you all are going about your business for the day, enjoying the nice sea air, there is a call from Vareed up in the Crow's Nest of Land Ho.
Do we know what land it is?
Check.
Fortune, you were expecting to hit land fairly soon. At least some of the outer lying pirate isles are nearby. It could be that you've found the first one. Not much is known about the pirate isles. They are scattered, and different isles have different information on them. Perhaps you've gotten lucky.
Might be one of the islands. There's not much known about them.
Do you have any recommendations on how we should approach? Are we flying a flag right now?
You are not currently flying the flag.
Is that a good thing?
If you would like to make a history check to see what is known about the Pirate Isles, you may do so.
$24.
All right. Anyone else as well?
9.
Okay.
16.
All right. So what you have found out on a little bit of your research, Coral and Jaffrey, you especially, is a lot of the isles are considered neutral territory. The innermost island of the ring is very much not neutral territory, but any ships should be welcome in harbor, provided they are not openly hostile. You imagine if this is not the innermost island, which it shouldn't be considering you haven't reached any of the other ones as of yet, you should be able to dock and gather information fairly easily. The only way to... Oh, thank you for the raid, Perception Studio.
Thank
Welcome
you.
aboard, guys.
I forgot we had notification music.
Yes, that is the Longest Johns. They are amazing. If you do not know the Longest Johns and you love sea shanties, you should go listen to them. They're fantastic. They are some of my favorites. So you have gathered that should you go into a island port, you will be treated as neutral unless you are openly hostile. So you should be able to head into port fairly easily. Just be on the lookout and be a little cautious.
What do we think? Should we head to port?
Always good to gather information.
That's true. Especially since we don't have the exact layout of all the other islands. So if we go to the shore, they might be able to give us more information.
Okay. Jaffer whispers a word in Gnomish, and her rope of climbing lashes out towards the mast, and she gets up to the top and yells out, "Prepare to port!"
There is a flurry of activity as the crew jump to your orders and begin setting course for the island.
She just begins to swing there on the rope.
As you get closer, you imagine you're probably an hour or two away from the island itself. It's still a little fuzzy in the horizon. But as you get a little closer, Vareed calls out from the mast that he can see ships in harbor and flags are being flown. Among the flags you see, or he sees, is a flag with 2 red stripes crossed with a black diagonal, which you guys know to be the flag of the Cross Quarter, the ship that you have been after this entire time.
Well, that's convenient.
Okay, so we definitely should.
Whether or not their cargo is still aboard remains to be seen.
Well, that's useful, but we've got to actually get there and get to everything first.
But remember, no open hostility. We need to be diplomatic.
Yes.
Yes,
Think of the
hostility
children.
only.
So, chat, as our merry crew is coming into port here on this island, I would like you, if you are feeling so inclined, to give me a name for the dockmaster here on this island. And while they are while Chad is doing that, Matthew, what is the name of this island?
This is...
Ask and you shall receive, I see.
This is Jinswill Island.
Jinswill Island. And let's say that we will go ahead and make the dockmaster Tillery McDockface.
I've heard of nominative determinism, but this is a little silly.
It is a little silly, and that's okay.
I mean, it could be that he lost a bet,
That is also true.
or that someone in his family did anyway.
I mean, the McDockfaces are a prestigious family.
Are they?
In what circles exactly?
The kind that loses at bets.
This circle, the
Thank ye
circle
for
of
the
these
doubloons.
islands, and only these islands.
There you
Oh,
go.
see. Well, that'll make sense then.
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you very much. So as you are arriving in Jinswell Island, you can see that the harbor is full of ships. It shouldn't be hard to put ashore here, but it is definitely a little bit more crowded than you anticipated. There doesn't seem to be a lot of townsfront. It seems to be mainly a couple of ramshackle buildings, and what you can hear sounds like an uproarious tavern off to one side. And then up on further back up the island, you see kind of a winding path up to a dilapidated looking old building. As you put ashore, Jaffer, since you are the acting captain, you are greeted by Tillery McDockface as you disembark. What type of folk is the dockmaster?
The dockmaster is an Earth Genasi.
All right. So you are greeted by Tillery, the Earth Genasi. And every NPC is going to sound like Tessa with a cold tonight, so I apologize. There will be no particular... oh my god, Angela, I love it. Literally a dog face. Oh my god.
I could change it.
All right. I think we're going to... Do you mind terribly?
Not at all. That's perfect.
All right. Literally a dog face.
Thank you.
Tillery McDockface. This Warforged comes and kind of clanks over to you with his very, very impressive size. Quite the imposing figure. Purpose aboard the island?
What are we here for? We're here to get supplies.
Excellent. Thank you very much for the follow. Yes, he is made of driftwood and barnacled dock parts, because that is just too good of an image to ignore. Coming aboard for supplies. Anything to sell or declare?
I mean, we do have a lot of stuff. I'll have to confer with my crew on that regard. We do have some tropical fruits and vegetables.
That's fine. You're more than welcome to move about the town, the market. Very well. If you are needing lodgings, I suggest the Freeholders Fall Inn and Tavern.
Is that the rowdy one over there then?
It's the only one.
Thank you.
All right. And he writes you out a slip, and dock fee is 2 gold a day.
Understood.
And you are free to roam about the island.
Do you think they made him out of dock parts, or has he just slowly replaced his parts over time with what was at hand?
You know, that's a good question, Crackers. I'm not sure. Could be either one.
You see him scoop down into the water and pick up some kelp, hold it up in his hand, look at it quizzically, and then smack it to his face like he's trying on a beard to see how it looks. He looks over in the water, kind of nods, and then like winds it around the back of his head and ties it on. So now he's got like this kelp beard. It is dripping wet down his front.
That's impressive.
It's like a green Santa beard that looks with the wires over the ears.
Exactly like a green Santa beard. Just kind of wrings it out with one hand, nods at his reflection, and goes back to patrolling the dock.
I have the strangest feeling he and Urzak would get along famously.
I think so as well.
Probably.
Seems accurate. All right, Captain.
I have a feeling. Yeah. I'm not really good with talking to people. Can you tell? Would one of you be willing to kind of be my spokesperson?
Of course. What is it that we are spokesing to do?
Anything. I don't know how to talk to these people.
And you think we do? I don't think Crackers and I spend a lot of time with pirates.
That's true. And
But we
Jeffrey
do
looks
spend
at
plenty of
Fortune.
time with drunken sailors, and there's not much difference.
That's true, actually. The tavern sounds a lot like the ones back at home.
Before we go to the tavern, we should probably... We need to talk and not in somewhere private.
Well, let's
Below
go back
deck?
to the... Let's go back to the ship and figure out what we're going to be saying to people and what we want from them and what we're going to be trading if we're going to, so that we look like we're actually here on purpose. But let's decide it where they can't hear us.
All right, so you all traipse back aboard the Lady of the Marsh and find a place to have a private conversation. Tillery McDockface just kind of looks at you as you walk back onto the dock. He looks a little confused, but then just goes about his business.
How long do we think we should have the ship in dock? Because if we pay him, he's not going to care.
Well, I think we need to figure out how much information we have to get from the cross quarters. We need to find out if they've still got Gellin on board or if they've dropped him off somewhere. And if they've dropped him off somewhere, we have to figure out how we're going to find out where they dropped him off. And then we have to figure out how we're going to do that without them catching us.
Good point.
And I probably missed something, but those are some of the big points.
So, slight issue with that. I don't know how to tell people this. I used to work on that ship.
On the cross quarters.
Yes. I know the captain. I did. I haven't been with them since before they were caught. I was not with them when that happened, and I never sought to rejoin. But that might make this difficult.
Or make it
What-
easy.
You weren't with them when they got caught doing what now? Or caught by who?
When they went away, I don't actually know what happened. I heard they were caught or something, and because I wasn't there, I wasn't, so I just didn't go back. Why would I? It was good luck. I'm not going to ignore that.
What sort of terms did you part on?
I was intending to go back, but I don't know how they feel anymore, because I realized it's probably suspicious that I left, and then they went away. Something happened and they went away. They can't be openly hostile, so if we're going to ask information or confront them, I'd rather do it here.
There's two sides to that, though. If they know that you're on our ship, are they going to cause problems later when we're not on a neutral island?
They were already causing problems, apparently.
Well,
Hmm.
we can approach this problem twofold. We can address some questions to the crew of the ship, and one of us could perhaps slip aboard and have a look around.
One of us who's a parrot that can potentially not speak and just fly aboard.
Yes, a parrot who can turn invisible and pick locks.
Those are all useful skills. I also... It only lasts for an hour, so we'd have to time everything real careful like, but I can turn someone into another creature. But there's not a lot of options, but I've got a spell that could turn you into a small animal.
Oh, I can do that too! That's wonderful.
It's useful. I suppose we could have a pair of parrots.
Do keep in mind that the other person who gets turned into a parrot will not have my intellect, but
That's
rather
true.
that of a common parrot.
That's true. Could do for a distraction if necessary. Let's be honest, even a common parrot's not that stupid
Oh no, of course not.
compared to some animals.
I can also be invisible, and I also know the ship.
Right, so are we thinking then Jaffer and I go off into the dock and start looking around and you guys go on the ship?
Seems reasonable.
Works for me.
Look at Crackers. You've got send in if you need us, right?
I can cast message. It has a limited range.
That'll work though if the ship's close enough to the Lady of the Marsh.
Oh, hold on. Can't you ask Galen where he is? If he's still on the ship, we can just go get him. If he's not, he's been moved.
Didn't even think of that after getting the spell. Finally figured out I could try. But if he's asleep or if he's incapacitated and can't answer me, then we're just gonna have to guess again. But it's worth a shot. Alright, well, let's do that real quick first before we go to shore. Okay, so sending to Gelen.
Alright.
Does anyone have anything specific like they want me to ask him? Besides, where are you? Well, I suppose where are you and are you still alive?
I mean, that's pretty much the important points.
Oh, this is just something I've been thinking about for a little bit. Mention that I found his note. I thought about it. I don't know if that was actually him. It would be good to know if it was. You can just, if he doesn't know what you're talking about, then.
All right, how about this then? Are you still alive? Fairly straightforward. Fortune found your note about being framed, trying to find you. Do you know where you are?
Alright.
I think that covers the main points we need to get answered, right? Right, heroes. And sending.
It takes a few moments. There is what feels like a little bit of static. But you do receive a response. You get a very quiet, yes, still alive. What else did you say? Sorry, I was taking notes.
Fortune found your note about being framed, trying to find you. Do you know where you are?
Glad you found my note. Not on a ship. Somewhere cold and stony.
Could be in a cave or underground.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't give us a lot of information because there's probably a lot of underground caves on some of these islands.
Well, you gotta think. In that alchemist house back in Saltmarsh, there was the basement, and then the little tunnel that went down to a secret dock, right? So maybe the same thing is at that dilapidated building. It's very inconspicuous.
That's true. And Galen actually had that hidden dock at his house as well.
True.
Didn't ask about that. Probably should have. Hindsight's always right. So, if we want to ask him anything else, I've got a few more send-ins, but then I won't have as many spell abilities available later.
I don't know their practices, but they probably either had him unconscious when they moved him, or covered his face so he couldn't see and hear stuff around him. So I don't know.
True. All right, so given the new information, then especially that he's not on a ship, I'm thinking that having Fortune and Crackers sneak aboard the ship's probably our best plan. They might have a ship's log showing what islands they've been to, where they stopped, or something in the captain's log.
Right. So what is your plan? It sounds like you guys are going to split up, potentially?
Yes, I believe so. Whilst we are investigating the ship, what will the two of you be doing?
Well, Jaffer said that we were here to do supplies, so we should probably go ashore and act like we're trying to order some supplies. Maybe go to the tavern and see if we can hear any rumors about anything that's going on. Do you guys want us to look for anything that we don't already have on the ship? I mean, honestly, our fresh fruits and vegetables and whatnot that we got from the Furbolgs are gonna be worth a lot more than some of the stuff they have on the island. But
No more baby animals.
I
No,
bet
Quillen's
you
not
could
gonna
find
let us.
some good prices for baby animals here on this island.
Quillen would kill me.
She
Uh-huh.
would. She would kill
Yes.
you.
very much so. And the honey too. We could probably sell some of the honey for a lot of money here, if we want to. Or we could trade it for supplies. Could probably get some more alcohol, although honestly the mead from the Furbolgs is probably better than what they've got on the island.
Likely.
Well, we'll just have to go ashore, and the first thing that you and I see, Jaffer, that we think looks even slightly interesting, we'll pretend to want a bunch of it or something. Just so it looks like we're actually supplying like we said we were. And in the meantime, listen for rumors while you guys are checking the ship.
If you visit the tavern, you might drop in casual conversation with a bartender or someone that you found a dragon egg adrift in the water. You can say it fortunately did not survive, but just see if that sparks anyone's interest.
I like where you're going with it. My only concern would be, are they going to try to find the dead dragon egg on our ship? I suppose we could say we tossed it overboard, but that seems like it'd be a waste considering it could probably be used for magic spells. Maybe say we saw one but couldn't get it. I'll think on it, but I like where you're going with it and trying to find information. I just don't want them to try to charge on the ship thinking we've got one stowed away somewhere. It's a good idea, though.
Alrighty. So who is going where?
Coral and Jaffer are going into town, to specifically the tavern, and then just kind of looking around and kind of getting a feel for what supplies they can potentially acquire, and just kind of making a show of what they came here to do, while also obtaining information.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Zork, would you mind just keeping an eye on the ship while we're away?
Of course. Ironically, that's a voice I might kind of be able to do.
Well then, are you ready, Fortune?
Yes.
Very good. I shall cast invisibility and fly to the... Was the Cross Daggers the name of the...
Cross quarters.
Cross Quarter.
Before you do that, real quick, Coral stops you for 1 second. Don't forget, you two, if they spot you and you have to get out of there real fast and disappear, you can both breathe underwater with your magic items.
Good point.
Jaffer also moves over to Fortune and goes down to his feet and pulls a salve out of her pouch and just says, "I'm going to cast a spell with this salve, okay?" And she's going to put it around the outside of Fortune's boots and cast Spider Climb on his boots.
Good idea.
It lasts an hour.
So it does the invisibility, so got an hour.
Good luck.
And invisible.
I also use invisibility.
All right, and away you guys go. All right, let's go ahead. We will do Coral and Jaffer first, and then we will head over to Fortune and Crackers. So Coral and Jaffer, what are you taking with you into town?
What did the Furbolgs give us the most of?
You have a crap load of honey, and you have a lot of fresh tropical fruits. This island doesn't seem to have a lot of natural vegetation to it.
I think samples of like the most interesting looking things that we have.
That's true. So maybe we take ashore. I mean, it doesn't make sense to take everything ashore because you're not going to
No,
do that
exactly.
when you're trying to just make the deals.
Right.
So maybe take
Little taste.
the smallest container of honey that we've got, and a couple of the different types of fruits. I think that's our best bet. And it's also a lot less to carry.
Yeah. Small hands.
Yeah. I'm not the strongest member of our group.
All right, so you guys gather up what you're taking and you head ashore. You give a nod to Tillery McDockface. And where is it that you head? Are you going directly to the Freeholders' Fall, or are you going to explore some of the other buildings?
Should we get the lay of the land before we head straight to the tavern?
That'd be a good idea. The Freeholders' Fall, was that the tavern, or was that?
Yeah,
something
That's
else?
the tavern.
Okay.
All right, so I guess we head to the first buildings that are nearest to start checking them out.
Okay. So as you go, you find basically a shipwrights building for anybody needing repairs. There is a blacksmith, a general goods store, and then a couple dwellings. And then to the left, there is the Freeholders' Fall, which is by far the largest building in town.
All right, so you said there's a shipwrights, a general store, a couple of dwellings, and
And a
I'm missing one.
blacksmith.
Blacksmith. Well, I mean, in terms of supplies, going to the general store makes the most sense.
I agree.
But I know your own personal preferences. Do you want to go check out the blacksmith and see what kind of supplies he has? Especially since you've got that mithril.
That's a good point. there are some things that I will need to use with the mithril to make stuff. So maybe we could do that.
We could start there. This might be a great opportunity to get some of those things you need cheaper, since they might trade us more for the fruits and the honey that are harder to get here.
Good idea.
Blacksmith it is.
All right, so you guys head off to the blacksmith. You head inside and you see a well-muscled dwarven woman working the forge. Thick black hair tied up in a bun, dark skin, and she is kind of humming to herself as she works away on what looks like a piece of chain. Oh, good morning. What is it I can do for you?
I'm in the market to get some supplies. Smelted ores, if you can. I intend to make things back home, but it seems like a good stop to make.
All right. What kind of ore specifically are you looking to have smelted, or do you want pre-smelted?
Actually, the mithril wasn't smelted, right? It was
Correct. It's raw.
It was just like raw chunks of ore.
Be easier to do smelt the mithril. Jennifer, we'll pull out like a little bit of mithril. Would you be able to smelt? I have a bit of this specific ore that I found in some of my travels.
Her eyes light up. This is beautiful. Yes, I could smelt this, no problem.
I have more as well. But you think you could do it?
Oh yes.
Fantastic. How much would that cost?
Let me look that up.
And how long would it take, if you don't mind my asking?
Well, it depends on a lot of the things. Depends on how pure the metal is, depends on the waiting list, which I don't have a lot of one right now. But I suppose I could probably, depending on the amount, have it smelted within a day or two.
Sounds good to me.
Sorry, I am having to do a little bit of looking up. Oh, it would be depending on the amount. Let's see. I would say 50 gold for every 10 pounds.
I'm trying to remember how many pounds of mithril we found. I don't think we were given poundage. I think we were just told we found us like 2,000 gold worth of mithril.
Right.
I don't know how many pounds of mithril that is.
So it's if you think about 1 pound of gold being worth 50 gold, mithril is a 10 times multiplier of that. So
okay. 1 pound of gold is worth 50 gold,
mm-hmm.
and it's multiplied by 10. So 1 pound of mithril is worth 500 gold, so we have 4 pounds of mithril.
Yeah.
Okay. So it would cost us very little.
It would not cost
like
you a lot.
25 gold.
It would cost you like 25 gold,
yeah.
yeah.
How long would it take you to do about 4 pounds?
Oh, probably a few hours.
I think it's worth it. Do you Do you just want gold, or do we potentially have something we could trade with you? Just checking.
Depending on what you've got. What are you offering?
Coral pulls out the fruit and the honey. We've got some more of these on the ship. It looks like fresh fruits and some honey are a little harder to come by here. We're not saying we'd have to pay you just with this, but, since we've got it, we're seeing what it's worth for in trade.
I'll give you 5 gold for a jar of the honey. And the rest I'd prefer in materials. Either gold, or if you're willing to part with maybe a pound of that mithril. Just to keep it easy, of course.
Right, just to keep it easy. I think we'd prefer to pay in gold if you don't mind. So,
Of course.
the jar of honey can stay here, and then 20 gold would be the remainder then for the mithril.
Yes.
Do you do half and half, or do we pay you after you're done?
You can do half and half. It's your preference.
All right then. And Coral will plop 10 gold down on the counter.
All right. She will happily pocket that.
Paying
Great.
for it. That's really sweet of you.
It's not a problem. We'll figure it out later.
So I'm assuming you did not bring 4 pounds of mithril on you, or did you?
No,
Yeah.
no. I had like a little, like maybe a pound of it,
Okay.
if that.
So yeah, whenever you're ready, I'll get you into my rotation.
Schaffer, do you want to leave this part here, and then we can go back and get the rest?
Sounds good to me. Yeah.
Right. Would you be able to get started fairly quickly, or do you have a long rotation today?
No, I can get started within the hour.
Jaffer's good to just go over and grab it, assuming that it's not, that far of a jaunt between the blacksmiths and the
It is
ship.
not. It is not a large town at all.
Well, Jaffer's gone. I'm sorry, and I forgot to ask your name.
It's Mira. It's the first name that popped in my head. Sorry. Doesn't look anything like her.
It's nice to meet you, Mira. I'm Coral.
Nice to meet you. What brings you to the island?
We're traveling through, looking to meet up with a friend a bit further away, and stopped here to get supplies and look around.
Ah, you don't.
It's nice to get off the ship sometimes.
Yeah, forgive me. You don't look like the normal clientele I see, so just a little curious.
I probably don't look like your normal clientele anyway.
That's true. Well, you're not the first Lutherdine I've seen in my travels.
Well, that's good to hear.
Are you planning on staying long?
Not necessarily. We haven't made a final decision yet on exactly when we're going to head out. Partly depends on what we find here that we might be interested in, and partly depends on how soon we're supposed to meet up with our friend and what the tides look like.
Word of advice: if you are planning on staying on the island, make sure you get a room early or bunk on your ship. Don't try and rough it out in the woods or anything. Strange things happen to those who don't find a good place for the evening.
Strange things like people show up and cause problems, or strange things like there's a lot of wildlife that's strange.
Strange things as in people go missing and just never turn up again.
So basically could be either one.
Yeah, but usually animals leave some sort of trace behind.
That's true.
Normally all we find is an empty camp.
That's strange. Especially because if someone's trying to chase him off or does something to him, you'd expect them to take all the equipment.
Yeah. Usually just gets sold around the town.
Oh, that's good to know. I'll make sure my friends know as well. I think we're probably going to be bunking on the ship, but it's good to know anyway.
It's a safe bet. Well, you have a good day. And Jaffer, I'm going to assume that you come right back and deliver your
Oh yeah.
mithril. And Mira says she'll get right started on it.
You as well. Pleasure doing business.
Likewise. And I'm going to pop over to Fortune and Crackers.
Yes, hello.
Hello. It is easy enough being invisible to make your way over to the cross quarters. It is riding fairly high in the water. You imagine there is no cargo currently aboard.
Doing a circle around from the air, does there appear to be anyone on the deck at the moment?
There is one rather disgruntled looking sailor kind of pouting off in the corner. Occasionally he looks up and does like a lazy glance around. You get the feeling that he would much rather be in town carousing, but drew the short end of the straw and is stuck on watch duty.
Very good. And this is a galleon?
It is a galleon.
All right. Well, I will swoop down and see if I can make my way into what would likely be the map room.
Okay. Go ahead.
I would just want to head straight to what I remember where that would be.
Okay. So you both kind of meet at the map room. You're both invisible, so neither one of you can see each other. It's a little bit difficult when you accidentally bump into each other as you arrive in the same spot.
Sorry.
Feather in my mouth.
The door is currently locked.
Just one moment. I shall pull out my lockpick and attempt to pick the lock.
Alrighty. Now, does this interaction break your invisibility, or are you using greater invisibility?
It is simple invisibility, but I believe invisibility does not break unless I attack or cast a spell.
I think I believe you're correct.
So
Sorry.
I rolled a 19.
Oh, that is easily enough to break, to pop the lock open, and you are able to move the door freely.
And I slip inside.
Fortune, do you follow or do you keep watch?
I'm gonna follow, but kind of keep an eye on the door when I'm inside the room.
Okay. So you enter and you see maps laid out everywhere across the tables. It's a bit of a mess in here. I'd like you each to roll me a perception check, please.
$20 total.
Okay.
An 8.
All right. Fortune, you notice the edge of one of the maps kind of looking like it's being tugged off the table by something you can't see. This is a map room. It's fantastic. There is shiny things. There are all sorts of wonderful bits and bubbles in here to explore. Think of all the information you could find. There is an open captain's log sitting on a little desk next to the large table in the center.
Oh yes, I shall peruse that.
According to the log, this is the first place they have made port since leaving the Lizardfolk Islands. Looks like they may have gotten caught in a eldritch storm, which slowed them down. to see the lines cargo unloaded with yesterday's date. Fortune, what is it that you are doing as you're watching this map being slowly tugged off the corner of this table?
I'm gonna move a little bit closer to see what it's of before I try to mess with it.
All right, I'd like you to roll me a stealth check. I'm assuming that you're moving as stealthily as possible.
A 10.
All right. You make a step and there's a slight clatter as your boot hits a lantern that was on the ground, and you hear a slight and it goes quiet. And there's a slight flutter of paper as the map is dropped. Crackers, you definitely hear a gasp of something. There is no response from outside.
I'm gonna go to pick up that map without saying anything.
You just pick it up and put it back on the table?
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna set it back on the table, to, like on top of everything, to look at it.
Okay. As you pick it up, you hear, "Are you a ghost? You legally have to tell me if you're a ghost. Otherwise it's entrapment." You hear a very low female voice.
Yes, I'm a ghost.
Okay, there's two ghosts because that was over there. I'm a ghost too. Ooh.
Yes,
it working?
I'm sure you are.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna go away and pretend this never happened. Nice
Maybe
meeting you,
that's what
ghosts.
you were looking for first, fellow ghost.
Maybe you should tell me what you're looking for first, ghosts.
Someone who was kidnapped.
No. I wasn't kidnapped. But I think I know what you're talking about.
Of course not. Who would kidnap a ghost?
That is very sound logic. Damn it.
So,
I was looking for the keys to the hold. Which doesn't make sense for a ghost to need keys to a hold, I understand, but we'll go with that.
Did you check the drawers?
Yes, I checked the drawers. It was the first thing I did. But this place is a pigsty because Doran can't keep anything straight to save his life.
why do you need to get into the hold?
So I can get my effects. My personal effects, if you will. And then I can sail out of here. If you're willing to help me, I can help you find your friend.
Is this the first place you checked, or have you gone to the captain's quarters?
I have been through the captain's quarters, I have been through the galley, I have been through 7 different layers of hell, it feels like, for these damned keys. And if I know better, he probably took him with him, but I was hoping.
All right, I think we can help you and ourselves make our way into the hold for our ghostly business.
Mm-hmm. Sounds excellent. All right, this way. Crewman on deck is not the brightest bulb in the box, but we just gotta keep it low.
This cruise certainly is something.
So you see this person materialize in front of you as her invisibility is dropped. And you see a half-elf woman with a tricorn hat on, kind of russet auburn hair, loosely tied in a ponytail, wearing a captain's coat, closely cropped breeches, and a pirate swashbuckling shirt. She's got a belt on that looks like there are spots where a sword would normally rest, as well as a pouch, but they are missing from her belt.
Are we still in the map room or have we left?
You are still in the map room, because if she assumes that you're going to need to follow her to where she needs to go. So it would be very difficult to follow invisible folks.
By all means, lead the way.
All right, here.
Ooh.
Right. And she walks towards a room off to the back of the map room. Kind of wiggles the lock surreptitiously and pops the door open and begins to climb down some stairs. I can't see if you're
follow.
coming or not, so I'm gonna trust that you're there. And she makes her way stealthily down the stairs.
I shall fly down after.
Fortune, do you take the time to grab any maps while you're in here, or do you follow?
If there's any that are out and they kind of look like they've been marked or something recently, like they're keeping track of where they're going, I'm gonna pick up that.
Okay. You can find a couple of maps that are marked similarly. It seems that there's a couple of copies of things, but nothing that's nothing that seems to have any definitive like timelines or anything like that.
I'm gonna pick up one that is like under stuff, so if it comes up missing, they'll think they just lost it.
Perfect. All right. And you guys make your way down to the hold, following this half-elf woman. Jaffer and Coral, pop back over to you real quick. Where are you guys heading next?
So do you want to go to the general store first, or do you want to go to the tavern to see if we can hear any gossip?
I think I've made quite a show of my commerce. I think the tavern will probably be a best bet. Just to kind of get some information, get a drink.
All right, that sounds good. Oh, and listen to what the blacksmith told me while you were getting the mithril, and she'll relay the disappearing people on the island stuff.
That's weird. She
Right?
says
It's-
dead family. We know what it is.
It's very strange.
I mean, it's like they don't even know what's going on here.
It could be some of them don't. I mean, this is technically supposed to be a neutral island, so there's no reason for them to necessarily assume that people are getting kidnapped and sold into slavery.
Yeah, but they're pirates.
And- Well, some of them are, not all of them. We're not.
That's
And
true.
to be fair, we can't say for certain that that's what's happening. It's just a suspicion. We've got no proof. Plus, I mean, honestly, if it was pirates, wouldn't they take the stuff? Why would you leave someone's gear behind if you're stealing them anyway?
Good point.
It's wasteful.
So we head into the tavern.
Mm-hmm. I'm assuming it's very loud.
It is very loud. You come in and it is just a cacophony of noise. There is a bard that is singing quite well, but no one is paying any attention to him. Every now and again, a coin gets flung his way, and he has to dodge as it's not aimed very well. There is a single Earth Genasi behind the bar, slinging ales as fast as he can. And there are several what looks like pirate crews or just ship crews in general amassed around general tables. One is dicing, others drinking, and a couple or other are just general carousing.
Feels like home.
Yeah,
It
this
does a
is
bit.
this is kind of my home turf.
A bit more crowded maybe than Salt Marsh, but
True. I've
just
been
as
in worse.
noisy. Those miners, when they get drinking, they're half deaf. They shout
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Some of the conversations are right awkward to listen to, actually.
And when you're alone in the down there just pickaxing the walls, that's what happens. You get loopy.
And their hearing starts to go. Before we left, I had to sing louder to be heard over some guy talking about his boils.
Ugh.
I don't think he realized the entire bar could hear him.
I miss home.
Same. Soon. Alright, so bard? Or bartender first? Or both? Divide and conquer?
Sure, divide and conquer. Bard versus bard.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Jaffer will head to the bartender.
Coral heads over towards the bard.
Right. Jeffrey, you head over to the bartender, who is this mountain of a man behind the bar, and he is just solid. You can see, muscle rippling underneath his shirt as he's picking up huge casks of ale and pouring out multiple rounds at a time. And he's got kind of a gruff-looking exterior. He's got kind of a furrowed brow, and he's got a kind of hard set to his jaw. And as you come up to the bar, he turns and he sees you, and his face just lights up. And he goes, "Hi, I'm Chip. What's your name?"
Hi, Chip. I'm Jaffer Zanzip. It's a pleasure to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too. I always love meeting new people. What brings you into the Freeholders' Fall?
Well, we're in to get some supplies, but we're also in to share some stories.
Hey, we could use some new stories around here.
Really?
I've heard all these stories 100 times.
Well, on my travels, I was treasure hunting, as you will, and I found a dragon egg. Now, it was destroyed, but it was definitely there. It had, brass scaling on it. Gorgeous.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah. It was bigger than me, though.
Too bad it was destroyed. I bet that would have
I
been
know.
quite the sight.
It was unfortunate.
Is this being said loudly? Can I, as I'm going towards the bard, can I observe?
Chip has no volume filter. It is one volume, and it is uproarious.
All right. So as this is going on, Coral's watching the people in the bar.
Make an insight check.
14.
No, you don't see anybody flinch at that. Maybe the crew's not here. So, what else have you come across in your travels?
Right. Well, there was this village of lizard folk, and there was this gigantic crocodile that was uh, attacking them. Right. So my crew went and we slayed the beast and dragged it back to the village, and we had a feast.
Wow, you feasted with lizard folk? I hear they know how to party.
They also know how to eat people, apparently.
Ooh, glad you escaped that one, friend.
Of course.
But yeah. Well, thank you for the new story. First drinks on me.
Fantastic.
What's your pleasure?
Most expensive thing you can give me.
Alrighty. I've got a island rum Mai Tai.
That sounds like words. Sure. Rum sounds good.
So he pours you this very fun-looking drink. I'm trying to remember what a Mai Tai looks like right now. You can
Doesn't
tell.
it usually
Yeah,
have
it's
an
kind of
umbrella?
like it's got an umbrella. It's got a big chunk of pineapple in it, and it's got red down at the bottom, going into kind of a orangey yellow, and then up to a brighter orange at the top. It is very tasty.
Much obliged. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And one for your friend, too, whatever she wants.
Sure.
Oh, thank you. I'll take one for the bard too, if you don't mind. I can pay for his though.
Oh, that's okay. He likes the rot gut. And he just kind of shivers as he pours this brownish green looking liquid into a small glass for him. Do you want a Mai Tai or you want something else?
Do you have any mead or ale?
Oh, I do. Pomegranate?
That's not the rot gut.
Oh, I've got pomegranate mead.
Pomegranate mead sounds great, thanks.
So he'll pour you a pomegranate mead and pass it over.
All right, thank you. Nice to meet you. My name's Coral.
Nice to meet you, Coral. I'm Chip. Thanks for the new stories.
Of course.
Not a problem. Jaffer, I'm gonna go say hi to the bard. You know,
Of course.
bard to bard talk. I'll be back in a bit, and she'll grab the drinks and start heading over there.
So you make your way over, dodging the occasional bottle that's being tossed and dodging the occasional arm that's being flung out with grandiose gestures. But you make your way over to the bard, who is quietly playing on a little concertina. Oh, do you have a request?
What does the bard look like?
The bard is a little kobold.
Okay. I don't have a request, actually. At least not for a song. I just came to say hello. I'm a bard as well, so, you know, wanted to say hello and see if you know any fun stories or any, you know, interesting rumors or anything like that that's going on around here. Also, here you go.
Many ghost
And she-
stories for you.
She offers him the drink.
Oh, thank you. He picks it up and he just downs it. He picks it up and it's just gone. Yeah, what kind of stories are you looking for?
Nothing necessarily specific. I'm just interested in any fun rumors or anything. You know how it goes. Bards always have the best gossip.
Oh, well, I heard one time the abbey up on the hill used to be haunted. Mm-hmm. Now nobody goes there.
An abbey up on the hill, you say? Oh, is that the
Mhm.
big stone structure up there?
Yeah, none of the town folk go there. It's private and not allowed and frowned upon. The mayor gets right upset if you go there.
Oh, private in what way? Like he's worried people are going to get hurt up there or something?
Don't know. Never had the courage to go check it out myself.
That's always really interesting. Ghost stories always make the best tales.
I agree. Do you have any good ghost stories for me?
I do know one from back home, actually. We're from back near Saltmarsh.
Oh,
There's this ancient story of this mad wizard who started doing all sorts of alchemical experiments in his house. And he had all sorts of booby traps and everything everywhere. Crazy paranoid, thought everyone was out to get him in his gold because he was trying to figure out how to turn everything into gold. And some say he succeeded, but when he did, he went so incredibly mad that he just poofed and disappeared. No one saw him after that. But they
Oh.
say if you go near the house, you'll hear moaning and groaning and all sorts of screaming. And there's been several people that have gone up there, the teenagers, trying to look into it, and they've gotten in a lot of trouble, and some get injured. No one knows exactly what's going on, and everyone's looking for the treasure.
Oh, I bet anyone who finds that treasure is in for a rare bit of luck then.
I suppose so, if they ever do find it. But, it's always a ghost tale, so who knows if it's real.
There's that.
Interesting story, though.
There's that. So what ship brought you in? I thought the cross-quarter had already unloaded. I hadn't seen a new one come in yet today.
Oh, we just arrived a wee bit ago. We're on the Lady of the Marsh.
Oh, not familiar with you. Oh, welcome.
It's our first time here. We're traveling through, looking to meet some friends a little further on, and saw the island, thought we'd stop. It's always nice to get
Oh.
off the ship and stretch your legs a bit,
Well, Ginswell Island is the best island to stop around these parts. Anywhere else it gets a little dicey, if you know what I mean.
Not always the most friendly people, then.
No, a couple of islands are fairly friendly in neutral territory, but you get too far a little bit more easterly and it gets right unpleasant.
That's good to know. Any information on these disappearances I hear about?
Oh, it's
The blacksmith Mira was telling us not to camp outside tonight if we don't get a room at the inn or stay on the ship.
Oh, that's what I hear. Is that the people that they take, they're taken up to the abbey. That's what I've heard
Oh.
anyway.
So you mean the ghosts are taking him up to the abbey and doing something with him?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, strange ghosties.
Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Wow.
I hear stories of people putting into port and getting rid of things they don't want by just putting them up at the abbey, and then poof, no one ever hears from them again.
That's interesting. It's intriguing, even. Not sure I should go there, but it's very interesting.
Oh, I don't recommend it. You seem too nice a lass to get all involved in ghost stories, even if they are a good one.
Oh, thank you. I've got a pretty good head on my shoulders, so I think I'll be all right. I didn't catch your name, though.
Oh, chat, give me a name for this cobard, because I don't have one for them. Or any of my players can also give me a name for the cobard.
Millard.
Millard the cobard, got it.
Is it M''Lerd?
Millard.
I was thinking of like Millard Millard, like the president, but nah, I am upset, Zach. I'm now upset. All right, back to Fortune and Crackers. So you have followed this elf woman, or this half elf woman, down the stairs and past rows of hammocks where the crew sleep, and into the hold, and see a iron cage, and off to one side you see a giant barrel, and she goes not over to the cage, but she goes up to the barrel and she starts tugging on it like she can't get it away from the wall. If you guys could just, I mean, I know you're ghosts and all, she winks, but if you could help me move this barrel, I really appreciate it.
Sure.
They unloaded and moved the barrel in front of my stuff.
I will try to help her move the barrel.
Okay, give me a strength check.
19. 'Cause I
Oh.
rolled a 19.
Between the two of you, that barrel moves very easily, and as you move, you see a little hole in the side of the ship, and she pops into, and a few moments later pops back out, and she's got dust all across her nose, and grin. She's all crooked, and she pulls out her a sword and a few other effects. Thank you. I wasn't going to be able to get back in there. Right, so you didn't see me. I was never here. Thanks for your help. Your friend has been offloaded this morning. Good luck getting him back.
Where was he offloaded to?
Well, there's no prison or anything here on this island, but she looks around conspiratorially. There is this place that locals talk about. I've heard it a couple times when I've been through here. Big, ugly stone place. They say there's a creature there who will take care of things you leave him. And I gather your friend is the fancy-looking fella who was in there. Usually when people get taken up to the Abbey, they don't come back. So, likely your friend made an enemy of somebody who wants him gone.
The Abbey.
Yeah, big fuck all stone building up on the hill. Locals are terrified of it. Right. So which ship is yours when I leave so I know not to Shanghai that one? Thank you guys for the raid. Sorry, not Shanghai, Commandeer.
Well, we're ghosts. You see, we don't have a ship.
Right,
But
right.
I'd appreciate it if you avoid the one that isn't flying a flag.
Got it. Can do. Good luck with your friend.
Good luck with your commandeering.
Yes.
And she attaches her sword to her belt and picks up her pouch, straightens her hat, and promptly steps over a bucket and falls flat on her face. You didn't see that.
No.
Nothing happened. It was entirely intentional. I hope it's more than two of you going up against whatever that thing is.
Do what you want, 'cause a pirate is free. You are a pirate.
Thank you very much for the follow.
Looking within the cage door, does there appear to be anything else in the hold of value?
It seems that everything has been offloaded. So you don't see anything else of value currently.
I see. Well, once this elven lass is out of earshot, I shall whisper to Fortune, I'd still like to have a look in the captain's quarters before we leave.
Yes.
So she makes her way up, cutlass out and drawn in front of her. Bit of a grin on her face, and you guys are free to move about the cabin.
We make our way to the captain's quarters.
All right. In the captain, he is Lord Admiral. He is very powerful.
That's true.
Very,
He is
very
the Lord
powerful in Deal
Admiral.
Panic Station. You make your way into the captain's quarters and find the woman there kind of raiding his closet, like trying on his captain's coat, like, yeah, I think this looks better on me.
I think we found your soulmate.
She does not hear you. Kind of turns around and looks in the mirror like, yeah, that looks good.
Well, I shall look about to see if there are any ledgers, letters, notes, anything that might indicate who was paying the captain to deliver Gelani.
Please make a investigation check.
That would be a 15.
You do find a letter. I just have to find the name that it is signed with. If you give me one moment. It will take me just a minute.
And I shall not be nerfed, Panic Station.
I don't think it's possible. Where is my note? You see a piece of paper with burnt edges, and you see the words, "Our contract is done. You owe me no more favors. Reike Ezo."
Is that a name I'm familiar with?
You do remember seeing this name in the camp, which had the 400 now, 400 upon delivery, make it count, from the camp where people who had taken Gallon.
I see. Well, I shall take this piece of paper and tuck it into my little pouch for now. All right. Is there anything else we should do while we're on board? Anything you wish to do?
Not. No, I don't think so. I do want to pick up one of the coats and like hold it just for like I want to pick it up and hold it for a second to see if it also turns invisible, and if it does, I put it on
As you pick it up, it does turn invisible.
and then put it on. It's my coat
And
now.
let's see if she notices. Nope, she is tucking stuff into her. She is tucking like she's tucking one of a pistol into her belt. She is decking herself out with this captain's attire. And is kind of humming happily to herself as she's doing so.
All right. There's nothing else here. Then I shall take flight and exit the ship and return to our.
We'll also return to the ship.
All right. You guys take off, head back to the ship. You make it aboard quietly, and I will spell that for you in just a minute. It is RAYKEEZSO.
Once we are back aboard the ship, I will of course drop my invisibility spell.
Yes, I will also drop my invisibility spell.
And I shall look to Fortune and say, "Correct, the best thing about breaking into a place is having someone else break in at the same time that anything you might steal can be blamed on."
Yes.
Fun.
Always good to have a patsy. Anyway, let's find our two acquisitions. I shall go to the galley.
Okay. You head down to the galley and you find Tack
Hello, Tad.
hard at work. Oh, Lord Admiral, how are you, sir?
Oh, splendid as always. I found this, and I shall pull out the piece of paper and set it down. Is that name familiar?
Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, that is.
What could you tell me about them?
Not much. No one's ever known. No person was. Yeah. How about now?
Yes.
There you
All
go.
right, there we go. Sorry about that little gremlin hiccup there. No one has met Ezo in person, to my knowledge. It's the notes just kind of show up out of nowhere. And those who don't do what the notes ask tend not to be around afterwards.
Interesting. Have you ever heard in your other dealings with nefarious folk talk of the Abbey here on the island?
Can't say that I have. I haven't done a whole lot of well, I mean, this was really kind of our first job, and you saw how well that went.
Yes, I'd say you two aren't fit for a life of crime.
No, though we do appreciate the job. Me and Orville both, very much so. But from what I've heard of Reike, there's some sort of genius. No one's, can't ever pinpoint him. They can't ever find them. It's just there and gone.
A challenge. I like that.
They're pulling a lot of strings.
No. Thank you very much, Tak. I shall let you return to your duties.
Very well. Anything in particular that the crew would like for dinner tonight? I've got some more, plenty of fish, of course, but also have a good vegetable stew going as well, if that's preferable.
Well, I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
What would you prefer, sir?
Just my usual.
Very
Nice
well.
Papaya.
Very well.
Fortune, should we wait here on the ship or go meet Jahar and Cora in the tavern? What do you think?
I would rather wait on the ship. I don't want to run into people and for things to go south for no reason.
Fair. We shall await your return, then.
As you are sitting there, you hear a splash. And then nothing.
From the outside?
From the outside.
Do you
I'll
think
fly
that
up to see
was-
if I see anything.
You fly out and you see the cross quarters pulling away from port. A single female half-elf at the wheel.
And the gentleman who has left guard bobbing in the water, I imagine?
Yes.
Alive or dead?
Seems to be alive.
I like her. You know, I was wrong, actually, Fortune. The best thing about breaking into a place is if the crime scene just disappears.
Yeah, that does help, yeah. There's no crime scene. They can't prove anything happened.
And you have a fabulous captain's court as well.
Oh yes, be careful walking around with that coat on.
Oh yes, I'm gonna. After I've looked at what I look like with it on, because I was invisible and couldn't see myself, I'm gonna put it into my bag of holding.
All right.
Also, where all the maps that I took from the other ship went. Basically, where everything goes.
Okay. Well, your old ship is disappearing out into the horizon. Captain and crew apparently not aboard. And oh, go ahead.
I already forgot what I was gonna say. It wasn't important.
I'm sorry. All right. Jaffer and Coral, what is it that you both do now that you've gotten some information from the bar and bard?
Coral's planning to just finish her drink, chit chat with Millard a little more, just to make it look like we're not like rushing out now that we have some information, and maybe sing a song with Millard if they know one that they each know, and then she'd be ready to leave whenever Jaffa was.
Yeah, that's easily doable. You guys spend a pleasant, probably 30-40 minutes or so.
So I assume, do we still want to, check and see if we can sell some fruit and vegetables, or should we try to convene with everyone else and look at that abbey?
Well, I feel like since we said we were here to do some resupplying and whatnot, that we should probably at least swing by the general store and the
Good
market, whatever's here, and just at least peek in for a minute, just so it looks like we actually did something in those areas.
Good point.
But we don't have to spend a lot of time there. We could make it fairly quick, especially if
Yeah.
they don't have anything interesting, but just to keep up appearances, because I don't know what that, I don't know how diligent the dockmaster is in checking into everybody.
So we'll go ahead and hand wave that. It's fairly, you're offered about 5 gold a jar for the honey. It's something that they can't get on the island. The fruits and vegetables, they couldn't turn it around quick enough to really make much of a profit on it, but they appreciate the offer.
All right. Thank you for your time. We'll check with our quartermaster about the honey and see if how much we've got to sell and everything.
And you guys go ahead and make your way back on board. As you're getting up to the dock, you notice that the cross quarters has put out to sea, and then you walk on board your gangplank.
Ah, there you are. Welcome back.
Oh, good. I was hoping that you weren't stuck on the ship.
No.
That would have been hilarious.
Yeah, that was strange. I swear I didn't see enough sailors leaving the tavern to crew a whole ship.
I didn't.
Did you two send the ship off? How is it staying
Not
afloat?
us. There was
Indirectly.
someone on board. I don't know.
She was helpful. She told us that Galen was offloaded the ship this morning, and believes he was taken someplace called the Abbey, which is apparently the home of some sort of very unpleasant creature.
Cool.
I got some similar information from not regarding Galen specific, but some information about the Abbey from the bard down at the tavern. Apparently the locals think it's haunted, and the mayor gets right angry if anyone heads near it. And there's a lot of disappearances of people who try to camp out in the woods. They just poof, gone, no one sees them, and all their gear's left behind. So the locals think it has something to do with the Abbey, and they stay away. And it's made of stone. And he said he was in a very stony place, so suspect that's where he is. So
that being the case, should should probably make our way up there before nightfall.
Yes.
That was going to be my question. Do we want to use the cover of night to try and hide? Or do we want to just risk it and try to be stealthy like and not get seen?
I don't really want to wait that long. If we go at night and there is something in there, there might not be any points in going.
That's a fair point.
Good point, yeah. Well, maybe we can walk up and see. At least, like, look at what we're dealing with.
If they offloaded, I doubt they did it in the middle of the night.
Well, this morning is what our friend said.
That's true, but they probably had him in something. I can't imagine they just marched him up there.
Oh, yes, they had him in a
That's the kind-
coffin, didn't they?
They did, that's true. But he said he could see stones, so that doesn't make any sense. He must be not in the coffin anymore, but they might have used it to take him up there.
Well, I'm ready to go.
All
I
right,
am as well.
to the Abbey it is.
All right. So you gather up your materials. You head out. As you head out, you see Fortune, a very panicked Doran, running out of the tavern toward the dockmaster. He doesn't seem to notice you at all. He seems to be very preoccupied with something else.
Just as a precaution, because Fortune is fairly bright colored and distinctive. I'm going to use disguise self to sort of shift into a sea elf that looks similar, like the same hair and everything, just like blue skin, longer ears, no horns.
Yeah, he is completely unfazed by you, and just is railing at Tillery McDockface about his missing ship and where did it go and what do you mean you don't know? And it is all sorts of a kerfluffle. It is quite the scene, and people are loading out of the bar to come and see. And it's plenty of a distraction for you guys to just walk on by.
Well, that was handy.
Yes.
Fortune favors the bold.
Does he really?
Yes.
We'll see when we meet him.
Well, if we happen to run into that woman again who took the ship, we'll have to thank her.
Cheat her name.
No.
Oh well.
It's all right. Faces are easier anyway.
It's all right. She has a name. You'll know it soon enough. Right. You guys make your way up the winding hill towards the Abbey. As you get closer, you realize there's not much of a building left. All that really remains is a great square of stones filled with burned and blackened rubble. As you approach the stones, it's obvious that someone has been sorting through the debris. There is assorted oddments are piled inside the scorched square of the foundation stones. There are ruined cooking utensils, crushed pots and pans, mangled kettles, and less identifiable metal objects in one pile, and broken crockery, platters, plates, porcelain, and pottery are heaped in another. There is a great deal of wood that's been sorted into one large mound by some badly burned scraps, and the center of the ruins is an opening, and you see a stone staircase leading down into darkness.
Well, it's a very organized monster, whatever it is.
Agreed. Possibly not a monster at all. It seems right organized for a creature.
So who wants to go down this spooky, terrifying staircase this time?
Jeffrey runs in.
Oh, Lord.
Adventure!
What did you think?
All right. As you enter in to the staircase, it is dark, but not horribly so. You reach a charred wooden door, which seems to be stuck.
Is it like locked stuck or like barred stuck?
You're not entirely sure if it's locked or just broken from the damage.
Does it look like it's supporting any of the ceiling?
Nope.
That's a smart question to ask.
It is.
Should I use magic?
We could just try to force it open. There's 4 of us. Well, yeah, there's 4 of us.
Technically, yeah. Jaffer takes a step back and prepares herself. Okay, who's gonna run with me? We're gonna run our shoulders into it on the count of 3.
Wait, does it swing outward or inward?
It swings inward.
Okay, carry on.
Good question to ask. Okay, even better.
All right.
I can help.
How many of us can fit against the door
I mean,
without
I'm
running
small.
into each other?
Jaffer will get the bottom half. Like the top half.
That's true. I am strong.
All right. We'll right here and we'll heal you if you hurt yourselves.
Appreciate that. Jeffer does the countdown, and then on the count of 3, rushes forward with her shoulder to smack the door.
All right. So you smack into the door. Give me a strength check as you smack into that door.
Do we both roll or?
Yes, you can both roll together.
3.
All right.
It's a nat 1 for 2.
So you both bounce off the door and kind of tumble backwards up the stairs a little bit. The door does 5 points of damage to each of you, is from you hurting your shoulder.
Seriously?
Okay, I'm just going to break it.
All right.
Going to actually just kick at the door.
All right. Go ahead and give me do some damage to that door. I'm not going to make you roll to hit the door. I
hope an 11 hits the door, because that's all I rolled.
The 11 hits the door, yes.
8 damage. to the
And that
door.
is enough to knock the door down.
Ah,
Do either of you actually want to be healed, or was it a minor enough bump that you're fine?
Don't worry about it. I'm good.
I'm okay.
All right.
I'm sturdy.
That's good. I'd hate for us to have doors become an enemy that we face all the time.
That would be bad. Yeah.
I'll just kick them in. It's fine. I'm good at that.
As you enter into a large common area, you can see a makeshift table made of burned planks supported at either end by upended barrels. Everything smells and reeks of greasy, soured food. Beneath the table are several small kegs that serve as chairs, and scraps of food are strewn across the table and on the floor nearby. Off to the other end of the room, you can see a large cauldron filled with smoldering charcoal burning. There's assorted cookware and seasoning resting on the floor and shelves, and there's also an ornate scroll tube on the shelf. The room is fairly clean, but the air is humid and greasy. A large tub of dirty water stands in the corner surrounded by dirty dishes.
How many chairs are at the table?
There are 2 chairs at the table.
Are there any doors leading out of this room, or is it just the one room?
There are several doors leading out of the room.
Jaffer waltzes over to the scroll tube to see what it is.
All right. You pop it open and you pull out a scroll of simple recipes. Flatbread, fish stew, and seagull wolf. Seagull loaf. I can't talk.
Should we take that back for Tack? You might already know him, but couldn't hurt.
True.
I have to admit, seagull loaf doesn't sound very good.
How many seagulls would need to make a loaf?
Depends on the size of the loaf.
I don't know.
That's a good point.
And the size of the seagull, now that I think about it.
Yes.
I've seen some fat ones, but usually they have spoons and stuff in their stomach rather than, anything delicious.
All right, so which door do we want to start with?
There is one to the right and one to the left.
Jaffer tiptoes to the one to the right, and then puts her ear to the door to see if there's anything beyond it.
You hear a slight shuffling behind the door.
Someone's playing cards.
I'm gonna.
Possible.
I wanted to kind of listen on the other one to see if there's noise on both sides.
You don't hear anything beyond the left door.
So should we start with the left, or should we go check the right to see if it's Galen?
I say we check the right first. Better we surprise who's ever in there than they surprise us later.
Are either of the doors locked?
Not that you can tell.
All right. Everyone ready? And Coral pulls her rapier out.
Jaffer pulls out her wooden gun.
Do you think Gwilyn's gonna be mad we left her out of a fight?
Yep.
Let's hope it's not that fight.
All right. Which door are you opening? The one on the right?
Yep.
All right. Are you opening the door stealthily or busting it open?
Who gets there first to open it is probably the deciding factor on that.
I mean, I was there listening to it.
That's
This
true.
is true.
So it's probably getting thrown open.
Jaffer does pause to see if anyone objects. She doesn't say anything. She just looks, and she's a pretty poor insight. So she turns the knob. Is there a knob?
There is a knob, yes.
She turns the knob and throws the door open.
All right. This chamber reeks of wine. There are small kegs that have been scattered everywhere, and a floor-to-ceiling wine rack filled with bottles dominates the southern wall. There is a crudely made pallet of rags and sacks covering the center of the room. As you throw open the door, the light from the hallway barely cracks the dim interior of the room. There is a shuffling noise as large feet appear in the light, followed by a stitched together legs and torso of a humanoid creature. There are no eyes and no mouth to speak of, just a jumbling mass of flesh. Roll initiative, please.
Yuck.
17.
15.
A 14.
Yeah, mine's like a 12.
I will go out on a limb and say Crackers will go before the enemy here. I have a -1 to initiative. All right. Fortune, go ahead and start us out.
Forgot what my key points can do. I'm going to move up, and I'm going to attack it.
Alrighty. You attack that flesh golem.
And I'm going to use my flurry of blows too.
Alright. And your attacks are considered magical at this point, yes?
Yes.
Thank you.
$15 and 19 for the first.
Both hit.
Then for the flurry of blows is another 15 and 17 on the dot.
Alright, all hit.
Total of 29 damage.
Very nice.
And I'm going to like step back a little bit because I can, when I flurry of blows, I also disengage. Just kind of bob back.
That is a good plan. Jaffer.
Okay, Jaffer is going to back away, and she's going to point her wooden gun towards this creature, and a sigil appears on the end of it that begins to glow red, and she shoots a firebolt at it.
Excellent.
That is an 11 to hit.
That hits.
Hey. That is a total of 11 points of fire damage.
Alrighty. It looks very unhappy.
That's me.
Crackers.
I shall look at this thing, and I shall say, I have seen many a repulsive, repugnant creature in my time, but you are certainly high upon the list. And I shall cast Vicious Mockery.
Excellent. Is
It must
that
make a wisdom saving throw.
You are very, very fortunate for that fire damage. Otherwise, that would have been a natural 20. And instead, that is a 6.
Haha. Therefore, it takes 4 points of psychic damage, and its next attack will be at disadvantage.
All right.
And I back away well into the room that we're in.
All right. How far did you disengage, Fortune?
I probably been backed up like 10, about 10 feet, so other people can do like spells and things and
Okay.
not catch me.
It lumbers towards you and has these huge, meaty palms up and tries to pummel you as it punches at you twice. Both attacks are made at disadvantage. So I'm going to guess that a 13 doesn't hit you. And that's even worse. So neither these two huge like fists just are too slow to really connect with you. Coral.
Okay. Yeah. So I think she's gonna hold off on spells for the moment. Coral's going to dart in and attack twice with her rapier.
Alrighty.
Okay, so that's going to be one I rolled good, one was eh. So that's a 21 and a 14.
Both hit.
Okay. So he takes 15 points of slashing damage, or piercing damage, sorry. And
All right, why don't you describe how you stop this creature from moving?
oh, okay, we did not have a lot left. So after he swings twice at Fortune, Coral kind of darts in next to him and stabs him in both shoulder joints. And as she does, each arm kind of flops useless, like she cut the nerve, and then he just stops moving and falls backwards.
All right. He just kind of slumps and stops moving. And you are
Oh,
left
wow.
in this room with a pile of stuff in the middle and some wine.
Gross.
That's
That's
disgusting.
gross.
Yeah, that's a poorly made golem.
It's absolutely awful.
So
And
we
look
know
at
where
all the-
people are probably going.
Hope that was a beast. That would be really funny.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, we fought a lot of things that people don't normally, so.
True.
And there's 4 of us. If you can't get a room in the tavern and you don't have a ship to sleep on, chances are good you don't have a lot of friends with you. So that might be why it kept getting hold of people. Is there anything else in this room, or is it just like lots and lots of barrels of spilled gross wine at this point?
There is that pallet covered with rags and sacks.
Should we check that?
Sure, I don't mind getting my hands dirty.
Yeah.
Jeff will saunter over and begin to just toss it.
Yeah, same.
As you toss it, you discover 25 gold and a dagger with a laminated whalebone handle and scabbard. You estimate it worth probably about 50 gold.
That's not too bad. I don't know if any of the wine's worth looking into, though, especially with all the nastiness that's down here.
True.
Probably. It's probably vinegar.
You know, I have this interesting thing I might want to use this dagger for. If you're okay with it. I mean, I think we have enough money I can do it with. I can make it so that this dagger, you throw it, and then it'll appear back in your hand. I have to work on it a bit, but maybe I can do that.
That'd be really useful, actually.
You know, if you don't mind.
It's fine with me.
By all means.
She hands Jaffer the dagger.
All right. There is no other door out of this room.
Okay. The other way.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
As you enter the room to the left, you see a bunch of pallets on the floor, a large iron kettle in the center of the chamber, and a pile of broken lumber in the northeast corner with another door leading out. The room appears to be empty.
Coral's gonna poke through the pallets and stuff as we're going towards the other door, I assume, because there was no other door from the main room.
Correct. You don't see anything in here at the moment. Seems to be mostly empty.
All right, next room.
Yeah.
The door here is unlocked and you are easily able to make your way into this new room. It is completely cleared of all debris, unlike the other rooms which all had charred blackness around them. The three of the walls are heavily draped with curtains of black velvet. The east wall is decorated with a terrible mural depicting a red dragon devouring sheep. Then near the west wall is a stone table on which a large iron brazier burns, and the table has been scrubbed and scoured but has many odd discolorations and scorch marks on it. There's a half-melted statue and two badly damaged candlesticks next to the brazier. And another door.
I love the decor. It's really creepy.
If you really wanted, we could probably take the velvet. I bet it would fit
Yeah.
in Fortune's bag of holding.
Yes.
Maybe we should do that after we make sure there's no one else here.
Good idea.
Anyway,
Jaffer is going to look behind the velvet and the mural of the. Is the mural like a blanket or is it a?
It's
Like
an
a
actual
painting.
like tapestry. It's been stitched. Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything up behind those?
Nope, nothing behind them.
is there any way to tell what this statue once was?
You can go ahead and get a little closer. It was definitely made of pure silver, whatever it was. As you look a little closer, it looks like it was a dragon. Do you
And
pick it?
approximately how large?
It is approximately the size of two of Fortune's fists stacked on top of each other.
Do I believe it would weigh 5 pounds or less?
It would probably be just about 5 pounds.
I shall try to pick it up with Mage Hand.
All right. As you pick it up, one of the curtains falls and reveals a door.
Didn't you just check behind those?
No, she checked behind the mural,
Oh,
behind the tapestry. We didn't check behind the curtains yet.
Fair.
All
We
right.
Go through that.
Which door?
well, the one
we
that
check
was
behind the other
mysteriously revealed first, of course.
Sure. Yes.
Coral's gonna put her head behind the other curtains and look.
You don't see anything else.
All right. Well, I vote take the statue and keep going.
When you say keep going, do you mean to the revealed door or the other door in the room?
I hadn't gotten that far yet. She's pointing at both doors, like which one, guys?
All right.
The one that was hidden, maybe.
All right.
Sure.
Keep hidden things.
All right. You guys make your way into a winding passageway. These tunnels that you see when you open up this door are well made with smooth walls and floors, and the ceilings are about 10 feet high. It's fairly narrow and fairly dark. And you begin to... Who is going first?
I can go first
Okay.
because I can see in the dark, so I can see a little bit farther.
Excellent. If you would do me a favor and everybody put your passive perceptions in your nameplates on Zoom so I can see them, that would be incredibly helpful. Dan from Sask, I'm so glad that your students are really having fun. We are using Ghosts of Saltmarsh, but we are telling it a little bit higgledy-piggledy and not using the modules directly. We're more using the world influenced by. So hopefully there should be no spoilers.
It's a good thing I went first.
I think you have the highest perception, yeah.
All right. Fortune, as you're making your way down, you easily see the first trap. A tripwire is stretching across the floor at ankle height, and it's easy enough for you to tell the rest of your party to be cautious and point it out so no one falls. As you move further down this winding pathway, it gets a little bit more tricky as you also notice several open pits with illusions. You just barely notice this section of shimmering illusory floor before you stumble headfirst into this pit. Luckily, because you have such a good bit of vision and such a high passive perception, you are able to avoid all 3 of these pits.
So Fortune goes first from now on everywhere.
I see everything all
He
the time.
sees all. You make your way down the hall till you reach a door. There seems to be the only way to go.
Is the door trapped at all, Fortune?
Don't think so. Do you want to lean in to listen at the door?
You do not hear anything.
So do we go or do we stay? Or
Uh-huh.
well, go back, I suppose, not stay.
We came all this way.
Yeah, no sense in going back now.
Sword out. After you.
I will open the door quietly.
Did you actually check for traps, or did you just decide that it was not trapped?
I will try to check for traps.
All right, you made it. Go ahead and
If it's perception, sure. If it's
I
investigation,
think it would be investigation, unfortunately, for checking for traps. Go ahead and roll investigation for me.
I got a 10. It's not trapped.
It's totally not trapped. It's fine. So you open the door.
Unless anyone else wants to do anything, yes.
I mean, I believe you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's noticed everything so far, but can we help him look for traps?
I guess the question is do you trust him? He said it's not trapped. Do you have any reason to doubt him?
No,
Not
because he
yet.
saw the other ones.
All right. So he opens the door, and there was a heavy thwang as a loaded ballista unloads a giant crossbow bolt into Fortune, dealing 16 points of piercing damage.
I can deflect. I just want to grab it.
All right.
That's been
I reduced it by 11, I think.
All right. So then it does 5 points of piercing damage to you. You catch it before it firmly embeds itself into your chest.
Good catch.
well,
Okay.
Let's not do that again.
No.
It's a learning moment. That's fine.
How is Fortune looking?
Not terrible.
I mean, I have a potion if you want a potion.
Fine.
We have a bag of
Fine.
potions.
You do still have all of your potions, I believe, correct?
Yeah. Well, we don't have a cleric, but we have 2 bards who both took the healing spells
Mhm.
because
does
we
Jaffer.
don't want people to die. So,
Okay. You make your way past the ballista and into what looks like a guard room. The short tunnel widens into an unfurnished and undecorated 30-foot square chamber. And standing next to each other in the center of the room are 2 enormous skeletons. Their heads feature prominent horns, and each wield a massive rusted axe that are dropped at their sides. There are also 5 corpses standing shoulder to shoulder in the eastern wall, guarding a door. Their faces have been painted in gruesome colors, but they make no sign of movement as you enter.
is anyone else getting the feeling that this ghosty they're so afraid of living up here in the Abbey is some sort of necromancer who just keeps stealing bodies to do things with?
Probably, yes.
I've deduced as much. Mm-hmm.
Either that or it's just a really, really committed goth.
That's true.
There is such a thing as too much commitment, and this would be it.
Don't you judge my aesthetic, crackers.
Oh, I'm judging. I'm always judging.
I suppose that's possible. Well,
But they're not
suppose.
approaching us. We see them, but they're not like.
They are unmoving.
well, we didn't actually go into the room yet, right? We can see all
Correct.
this from the door.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they don't attack until you actually go through the door.
Maybe.
Should I take a pot shot and see if it'll work?
Couldn't hurt.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Jaffer's going to. Well, how far are the 2 skeletons from Jaffer?
They're
And
about
are they-
20
how-
feet away from you.
And are they close to each other?
Mm-hmm. They're kind of leaning on each other.
Okay. Jaffer is going to pull a shuddering ball off of her of her waist, and she's going to toss it at their feet, and it's going to explode and cast Shatter.
As it casts the shatter, all the skeletons just collapse into a pile. seems to be maybe that these were here for deterrent rather than actual guardians.
I did it.
What
I'm the
happens?
best.
Are the corpses near the skeletons, or are
Mhm.
they
They just kind of slump.
everything just collapses?
Hmm.
Oh,
Good job. All right,
Thanks.
so checking that door that the corpses were in front of then.
It appears to be unlocked.
I will give this one a look over for traps.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check.
12.
Doesn't appear to be trapped.
Doesn't appear to be trapped.
But maybe let's not stand in front of it as we're opening it this time, just in case.
Fair point, fair point. Everyone stand to the side. And I will open the door with my mage hand.
The door is opened and nothing happens.
I peek around and look into the door.
Don't see anything.
There was nothing behind the door. Nothing at all.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Is what kind of a room is the next one?
You see another hallway. Who is going to go first?
I can go first again. If Mark.
Okay. I trust you.
All right. Fortune, as you enter, you easily pick out a small, thin wire running across the floor of the room and point it out so nobody steps on it. As you get closer down the hall, you see a brightly lit room ahead. There are chests, urns, and a large strongbox standing in alcoves set into the chamber's walls. Some of the chests are open, and you can see jewelry and coins just spilling out. There are colored flashes of light sparkle and gems and jewels everywhere. And in the center of the room is a green stone statue of a gorgeous elf.
Do you think moving the statue will do something again?
Is it like life size?
It is life-sized.
Maybe. I mean, the walls have anything on them?
There's nothing on them, but there are just tons of lock boxes and strong boxes full of what looks like gold and jewels everywhere.
Well, I want all of this, obviously.
Agreed. But does anyone else think that was a bit too easy?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? That was a high level spell I just did, okay?
Way, hey, roll and go, rollicking Randy Dandy.
Thank you very much for the raid.
Thank you.
We are currently in a treasure room.
Or is it a trap?
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun,
dun.
dun.
Crackers, you have that magical hand. Could you touch some things and see if anything happens?
I could. All right. I shall use my mage hand and go pick up one of those shiny gems.
All right.
While I remain in the doorway.
Your mage hand picks up a shiny gem, and nothing happens.
I float the gem back to us,
All right.
and I drop it in Jaffa's hand.
Jaffer, make me a perception check.
$12.
Ah, this is a gorgeous gem. It's beautiful.
Cool.
So what kind of gem is it?
What color is it?
It's red.
It's a red one. Oh, it's pretty good looking.
Your face.
I have a suspicion, but Coral wouldn't know. But Heather has a concern and a suspicion. How big is the gem?
It's about the size of a D20.
A normal D20 or a dire D20 as provided by Die Hard Dice?
I would say a dire D20 by a Die Hard Dice.
It looks
Check
massive
them
in
out.
Jaffer's hands.
It looks amazing.
Wow. Okay. Oh,
Do I get any magical essence from it, or is it just
No,
Pretty.
nothing. It's just pretty.
cool? Jaffer will put it in her bag.
yeah. I do want to look around the room before touching anything. To make sure there's not like traps or alarms or something.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I shall do the same.
Alrighty.
I'm also gonna look around the room, but she's more just like observing what kinds of things are there, not necessarily looking for the traps. She trusts other
11.
people to do that.
All right. You do not see any traps in the room. You do, however, with your high perception, see a large door behind one of the strong boxes. You'd have to move the strong box out of the way to get to the door, though.
I rolled a 20 for a total of 22.
You are sure that that big old strong box that is closed is absolutely trapped. You should not touch it, or you need to figure out some way to move it to get to the door behind it. Also, as you're looking around, these aren't treasures. These are painted wood and colored rocks.
So, on closer inspection, a few things. First of all, do not touch that strong box no matter what you do. And also, this is just painted wood and rocks.
Oh, okay.
Jaffer, that is colored glass in your hands.
Jaffer
it's
throws
still
it the strong
pretty.
box.
All right. It bounces off the strong box. And as it clicks and makes that noise, the jade statue in the center of the room begins to shape, shift, and twist into a large, blue-skinned, white-haired, fanged being.
I didn't touch it.
And I'd like you all to roll initiative.
I didn't touch it. I just threw a rock at it.
To be fair, that was not the trap.
14?
All right.
18.
15.
And it's an 8 for me.
Mine's only barely better. I got an 11.
All right. Crackers, you're going to start us off as this creature comes alive.
I cast Polymorph and I tried to turn it into an earthworm.
All right. What is it that I need to do to save against that?
A wisdom saving throw with the DC of 14.
All right. That is a 16. Very close, though.
In that case, I shall look to fortune and I shall say, how do you solve a problem like this, Oni? I think you should punch it lots and lots in the face. And I shall grant you a D8 inspiration die.
Brilliant. Jaffer.
Oh shit. Okay. And she's gonna put a crab, a little clockwork crab on the ground, and put a wand out and twist it in the back to crank it up. As she does, it grows into a medium-sized turret as she makes her arcane turret. And one of the bigger claws, that's kind of like a big claw, little claw. Big claw reaches forward and shoots a bolt of force at the Oni.
Alrighty.
Poof, that is 26 to hit.
That hits.
11 points of force damage, and it's like knocked back 10 feet.
All right. He stumbles backwards. This low growl kind of just emanating from him very menacingly. As he grins, you can see bits of maybe rotting flesh in his teeth. Fortune.
I'm gonna punch it. Yeah, it's gonna do the normal attacks. I want the last one to be a stunning strike, though.
All right.
16,
Hits.
20,
Hits.
23.
All hit. What do I need to roll for a stunning strike? Is it a con save?
Yes.
That is a 13.
DC is 14.
Oh, very nice. It was almost a natural 20, but it was cocked. I couldn't tell if it was a 2 or a 20, so I rolled it again.
And 20. Yes, 20. Yes, 20 down.
All right. Coral. Oh, is that your entire turn?
Yes.
So Coral.
Okay. Does the Oni have anything metal on him at all?
He has a large glaive in his hand, but it looks like the handle is made of bone.
Okay. Right. In that case, she's gonna dart forward to sort of flank it
Okay.
with Fortune. I know we're not doing flanking rules, but just so that Fortune's not the only one getting aimed at,
That's all
and
right.
attack twice.
Okay. I'm going to put the AC in our chat here so you can let me know for time's sake if it hits.
Okay. Yeah, I hit with both.
All right, great.
So that's gonna be... So that's going to be 16 points of damage.
All right.
It's my action, and then since we keep fighting things, bonus action. She calls out to Fortune, "Keep your chin up," and healing word. You get 7 hit points back. Because I know you've been hit a couple of times already.
Thank you.
That's my turn.
All right. As you do that damage, he kind of sneers at you and pushes himself off the ground to fly. Both Fortune and Coral will get an attack of opportunity as he jumps off. And I forgot he's stunned, so he doesn't do that at all. So never mind. He sits there like a doofus.
Oh wait, he was stunned? Does that mean I get advantage when I attack him?
Yeah, I believe so.
I forgot he was stunned. Should I roll to see if I got a 20 for the advantage? Or do we just wanna
We
keep
only
going?
have 20 minutes left for tonight, so if you would like to, you may go ahead.
No.
Okay. And Crackers.
Seeing that this creature is stunned, I shall have a moment of bravado.
Bravado.
Of something.
Bravado?
Yes, thank you. And I shall swoop forward to claw at him with my talon.
Alrighty.
First roll was a natural 1, but with advantage I hit.
Oh, excellent.
And I shall expend a use of my bardic inspiration to deal additional psychic blades damage with the staff.
Very nice.
So that'll be 5 points of piercing damage and an additional 12 psychic damage. And I fly away, well out of range of that glaive.
Excellent. Alrighty. Jaffer.
Jaffer's going to point her wooden gun forward and shoot a firebolt at it.
Okay.
It hits
Excellent.
for 17 points of fire damage.
Oof, very nice.
And then she's going to have her arcane turret shoot at it as well.
Ready.
And that hits as well. For 14 points of force damage. And it's pushed 5 feet away.
All right. It is not looking great. Fortune.
I'm going to attack it, and I'm going to use Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
I hit twice.
Okay.
Oh, but I have advantage. Hold on. Every single one of those were in single digits, so I hit twice.
Okay.
But because I have advantage, I get sneak attack.
Are you also using Stunning Strike again?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Cool. 15 damage.
Alrighty. All right.
Well, no. I stay there.
Okay. Coral, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm just gonna attack again with her sword.
All right.
One was a nat 20. Thank you, advantage. And the other one hits. Okay. so it's gonna
Really
be-
quickly, Fortune, when Stunning Strike, is he stunned till the end of your next turn, or is he stunned
Mine.
till the end of? So
My
his
next
stun would have
turn. Oh,
actually worn
okay.
off at the end of his
That's
turn.
right. I forgot it's not.
my
I
apologies.
was thinking totally fine. I was thinking it was the creature's turn. I forgot it was his.
No problem.
Okay, so they still both hit, but
Okay.
no critical. Okay, another 16 points of piercing damage.
All right.
And yeah, that's it for now.
All right. So this beast of a creature just sneers at you, blood dripping from its nose. It just looks so angry and upset as he launches himself off the ground. Fortune and Coral both can get a swing of attack of opportunity in as he flies 30 feet away from you and lines himself up.
I got a 17.
Okay. that
Yeah, and I
hits.
got a 21.
All right, so those both hit.
9 damage.
All right.
11.
Okay. All right. He is looking really bad. And he throws his hands forward as a cone of cold envelops all of you. I need you all to give me a Constitution saving throw.
No.
That was a nat 20. So 22.
7.
I also got a 7.
Natural
Besties.
1.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I'm a parrotsicle.
All right.
Oh.
So for those of you who failed, 32 points of cold damage. For those of you who succeeded, 16 points of cold damage. And he lands 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
Crackers, are you still up?
Yes.
All right. It is your turn, sir.
I shall. Oh dear. I shall cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds on myself.
Alrighty. Is there anything...
Regaining 17 hit points.
Nice. Is there anything else you would wish to do? He's looking very, very poor.
No.
Alrighty. Jaffer.
I'm okay. The Jeffer's gonna reach up with her little wooden gun, and she's gonna take a shot, a firebolt at it.
Right.
18 to hit, so that hits.
That hits.
11 points of fire damage.
Please describe your moment as you kill the Oni.
Jaffer is going to shoot it in its chest and burn a hole through it, and it just falls down and hits the ground with a thump.
As it hits the ground with that thud, sparks of the fire just kind of echo across it as it disintegrates into dust.
Oh no! Wait,
Okay.
is this glaive still there?
This glaive is still there.
Hey.
So is a slim circlet that it was wearing around its
Ooh.
head.
Okay, who needs healing?
I think all of us do, but you lot look a bit worse than me. All right. 3rd level Cure Wounds on Fortune, who cannot heal himself.
Jaffer goes and grabs the circlet and the glaive and kind of starts looking at them.
You're pretty sure that the circlet is magical, but you're not sure about the glaive.
Oh, okay.
16 to Fortune.
Nice.
So for the sake of time, I'm going to say that you guys go ahead and spend your spells for healing. You know that there is a door behind that trapped chest. Or maybe the trap has gone off.
Can I investigate it for traps just in case?
The door or the chest?
The chest.
Yes. You investigate the chest and you realize that if someone is to touch the locking mechanism, there is a poison dart that will shoot out. However, if you move the chest, you should be fine.
I say we take a short rest, and I can go out and grab Gwilyn, and then we can investigate more later.
I would say we have 10 minutes left. This is the last door.
Check behind this.
Okay.
Does anyone need some more help?
Dodgy.
I'm okay.
I will perch on Fortune's horn and cast Cure Wounds at first level.
All right.
10 more points of healing.
You go ahead and you make your way through this final door. You see a large square room held up by two massive gray granite pillars. There are several bags, chests, and urns all scattered about. You see shackled to a wall, Gellin Primewater among the treasures to be found here. You get the idea that had you not arrived, he would have been dinner for the Oni this evening. He is blindfolded and gagged. And there appears to be nothing but treasure and Gellin in this room.
I am going to drop disguise self before I approach him. And I'm gonna try to start. I'm gonna take the blindfold and the gag out first. And I don't actually have anything to undo locks, but I'm gonna do.
It looks
I can do
worse
that.
for wear. But he kind of sags against you and goes, "You came.
Yes.
Thank you."
Looks like we got here just in time.
Yes.
I cast Detect Thoughts on Gellin.
Overwhelmingly, you get relief. Because I believe just at first glance, it's
Surface thoughts, yes.
yeah, he's just overwhelmingly relieved. He's tired, and he's not had a good time of it. Do you probe further?
No, not at the moment.
All right.
That mayor has some answering, because he seemed like he didn't want anyone coming here,
Well,
and not for the right reasons.
to be fair, that's what the bard said at the tavern. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the mayor's necessarily in on it. He might just know there's something bad going on here and doesn't want his people dying.
If anybody would like to make an Arcana check, they can.
Yes, I would. No, I wouldn't. That's a 12.
All right.
Arcana check on what specifically?
The creature you just fought.
Okay. I don't think I rolled any better. Would this
Electro-
potentially be
7.
like, I don't know what else, like a history check or something? To see if I ever remember hearing a story about this kind of a creature?
Sure. What did you say, Crackers?
A 22.
You know that Oni are notorious shapeshifters. If there was a mayor in town keeping people out of here, it could have been the Oni himself.
Yeah, we can follow up on that before we leave.
Does anyone check the rest of the room?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. What sort of treasures do we have to be found?
As you search the statues and bags and chests, you find 480 gold, 1,200 silver, another 1,000 gold worth of gems and jewelry. The large chest in the north corner of the room contains 5 bolts of rare silk worth 100 gold each, which you recognize as Gellen's fabrics. You find 3 potions of healing, greater, a bag of holding, and a suit of medium mithril armor. Jaffer, for your information, when you get a chance, you find that that is a helm of intellect
Oh, okay.
that the Oni had on him. It takes a bit of time, but the 4 of you make your way out of the Abbey, avoiding the pitfalls, supporting Gellen between you all. He is very tired. He's very weak. He has not been properly fed or gotten good nourishment in some time. But he manages the trip fairly well. You make it back to port and you see another ship leaving. You see the flag of the cross quarters flying next below another flag. You get the idea that perhaps the crew's joined up to go chase down the errant ship. And it's quiet in town. You have successfully rescued Gellen from one of the Pirate Prince Isles. And where you head from here is up to you. I'd like to congratulate you all on reaching level 8.
Well done, y'all.
Yay!
And is there anything anybody would like to do in the last few moments that we have for tonight's game?
Jaffer had grabbed the tapestry of the dragon
Okay.
eating the creatures.
Eating the sheep?
And yeah, and the 3 curtains of black velvet,
Okay.
which she is setting up in the captain's quarters.
All right.
You want to make sure you retrieve your mithril you were having smelted as well.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
It is ready for you. You took enough time in your journey that it is all done for you.
What sort of mithril armor is it?
It is a breastplate.
Fortune spends the rest of the evening with Gellen.
All right. He is very happy to see you. Jaffer, just so you know that the breastplate does not impose any dexterity stealth disadvantage on your dexterity checks, and it does not have a strength requirement.
Sweet.
He's very tired, Fortune, but he's grateful that you came and trusted him enough to come and get him.
So home then.
Sounds good to me.
Yes.
I should say so.
I've got a
If
few
we're
things
lucky.
that need fixing.
If we're lucky, we'll be there before a war starts. And I think that's where we'll end tonight. Thank you, everybody who came and watched and stuck around for our entire show tonight. We are happy that you joined us. Thank you to my amazing crew. Next week, we will be dark as we are taking time for American Thanksgiving. But we will be back the week after with more. I can't talk today. With more Dead Men Tell No Tales. Thank you for my production crew behind the scenes keeping us rolling, and thank you to Angela for our amazing opening video. Thank you to our sponsors, World Anvil and Die Hard Dice, and thank you, crew. Thank you guys for running a little bit unknowingly today if my voice was going to hold up, but you guys were troopers, and thank you for being flexible. Hopefully Autumn feels better and can join us next time as we set sail back for Saltmarsh and see what is in store. And as always, carry on, you funky little tieflings. Good night, everybody.
Night.